That way we have access to the recording for our district director. Lark Doley DTM served as 2018-2019 Toastmasters International President. Lark often wears gold at Toastmaster events to signify the golden benefits we receive from Toastmasters without paying the price of gold to receive them. Lark resides in a lighthouse home on Lake Travis near Austin, Texas, in the United States, that her late husband Roger built in honor of her father-in-law, Arthur. Today, Lark will discuss her golden leadership principles. The title of her speech, Golden Leadership. Why should you step up to leadership? What can you gain from leadership in Toastmasters? Lark will share some leadership principles that she has gained during her Toastmasters leadership journey and her professional leadership journey. Please help me welcome past International President Lark Doley.
Good morning, District 115. It is golden to be back with you. And congratulations, Grandma. Glad that your grandson arrived at the appropriate time, which was the day of the DEC meeting. We knew that would happen, so congratulations on a healthy new grandson. Truly, I had the opportunity to be with you in July of 2019. Kay Collis invited me to come to your district, and it was a golden experience for me. I was honored to be there then, and I am honored to be back with you in a different forum, right? In September of 2020, I celebrated my 30th anniversary with Toastmasters. Now, I joined Toastmasters out of high school. Yeah, quite a few years out of high school. And I think about that today and think, what if I had joined Toastmasters right out of high school? What leadership opportunities would I have had throughout my life if I had only joined this organization at a much younger age? I didn't, and I feel so honored to have been your international president. But that is one of the reasons that we need to share the gold of Toastmasters every day with more and more people, so that they can reap the golden benefits of communication and leadership, and hopefully at a younger age. I am going to share with you a PowerPoint presentation, but hopefully we will have a lot of fun and interaction throughout this through the chat. So Carol has kindly volunteered to be my chat master today so that I can focus on the presentation and so that you can hear someone else speaking as well. Golden leadership principles. What are they? And what have you already gained from this organization? I want to learn more about you. I had the privilege to meet so many of you in July of 2019, but many of you are new, certainly newer than when I came in 2019. So let's do some chatting and find out something about you. For those of you who've only been in Toastmasters for a few years, why did you join Toastmasters? During my year as president, we had the My Why campaign. So why did you join Toastmasters? Now, if you've been in Toastmasters 5, 10, 20, 30 years like I have, why do you stay in Toastmasters? In the chat, I want you to succinctly answer that question. And while you're answering it, before Carol begins reading those answers, I will tell you that my first My Why was to become an articulate, persuasive speaker because I owned my own business and I wanted to persuade potential investors to put out that money and invest in my company. And at that time, investors were all male. I wanted to be sure that I could persuade them as a female to invest in my company. And I did get some investments. Today, I stay in this organization because every single day I learn and grow in this organization, just like I did hearing all about how to conduct an effective contest. All right, Carol, what are they saying in the chat? Is there my why?
Well, we got because of friendships and the ability to keep learning, to stop blacking out in front of people. I stay because even after 7 years, I still haven't learned everything I can learn from Toastmasters. To speak with a better flow. They want to be more effective and build confidence, to continue learning and start a new journey.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing those. Interesting. We go from blacking out to friendships. No one ever told me when I joined Toastmasters that I would develop lifelong friends. That is truly the most golden, the most priceless benefit of this organization. But yes, there are individuals who join because they have such a fear of speaking that they could black out. In my club, we had an individual who would literally get ill the night she would speak. She would have to go to the bathroom before the club meeting began and just compose herself because her stomach was so upset and she was afraid that she would not be able to speak. So isn't it interesting where each of us start in this organization? All right, so my next question for you is, what specifically have you gained from Toastmasters? If you can think of specific skills, not just general communicational leadership, if you want to state that, you can, but are there some specific skills that you have learned? Or have you gained a promotion at your job? What have you gained from your membership in Toastmasters? And as they're writing that, I will tell you that my current position as training manager at Maximus is, I believe, a direct result of my Toastmasters experience and the fact that my manager was one of the charter members of the Maximus Toastmasters Club. He learned about my skills, and when a training position opened, he asked me if I wanted it. I did not even have to interview. And then when the training manager position came open and I applied for it, he certainly wanted to interview me. He did, and I gained that promotion. Carol, what are they saying in the chat?
Delegating to get work done, confidence to obtain a promotion, a wife, good listening skill, and being a better communicator, business owner.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Interestingly enough, my husband was in Toastmasters before I was, and he certainly invited me to come as a guest. And he wasn't my husband at the time. He was someone I was interested in. So I like that spouse way to join Toastmasters and gain a spouse. My next question, what more do you have to gain? What more do you want to gain from this organization? Type into the chat what more you want to gain. When I look at pathways and the 11 paths and pathways, I know that I have so much more to gain from this organization. And this journey will take me for years into my future. I am a lifer in Toastmasters, as I'm sure you all know, but there is so much more that I can gain and so much more I can give back to this organization. And that's why I stay, is to learn and to give back, to share the gold with more and more people. Carol, what are they saying they want to gain more of?
Continued leadership and organizational skills, friendship, leadership, communication, unlimited as to what I will gain, better social media skills, much more than my brain can handle, and the ability to hone and craft a good story.
So today I learned about Google Docs, and right before this meeting, I was the chief judge at my club contest. We simply emailed, the judges emailed their ballots to me and to the ballot counters. And then we had to, by hand, go through each of those attachments and count up the winners. Today I learned about Google Docs. I'm going to make sure that District 55 knows about Google Docs, that my club knows about Google Docs, and hopefully we will become Google Doc experts just as you have. I'm going to connect some leaders in District 55 with District 115 so that we can become more efficient in all of our contests from the club level through to the district level. My next question for you is, you are a leader now. You are a member of the district executive committee, or you are supporters of the district executive committee. What leadership roles have you held in the organization? Write down if you've held club roles, if you've held area, division, district level roles as part of the trio, as part of this, what I call the Super 7, whether you've been a regional leader, an international leader. So type into the chat the leadership roles that you have held so far. I certainly have held most of the leadership roles in the organization now. And while in 2018, 2019, I was at the bottom of the organizational chart as your Toastmasters president, I'm now back on top. I'm a member of this organization. Carol, what leadership roles have the individuals that are participating today held?
We have club president, first team of RAs with Lark, all club officer roles, area and division director and club growth director, club president, VP PR, membership, area director, division director, area division director. Wow. More region advisor, VP PR, education president, Pathways Guide, ambassador.
Oh, there you go.
Pathways Guide for 57. Almost every club level, first-time district leadership area director.
Thank you so much, Carol. Absolutely. I had the privilege to serve as one of the first region advisors with Kay, and talk about a learning experience. We pioneered that role. We had a lot of fun, and we certainly taught Toastmasters a thing or two, I think, about the role as well. My final question for this slide: what is your next golden step in Toastmasters? What leadership role do you aspire to have in this organization? I'd like you to type into the chat what leadership role you aspire to have in the organization going forward. I aspire to be an area director again. Once I have finished my past international president responsibilities this year and next year, I am going to apply to be an area director in the 2022-2023 year. Of course, our district director that year will have to decide whether or not they will appoint me, but I want to go back to being an area director. That role to me is the direct link to the clubs and can make the difference within our districts directly. Carol, what leadership roles do they aspire to have?
Are you ready for this?
I am.
We got to be continued. We've got district director, we've got international president, and we are working towards that role that doesn't exist yet, and division director.
I like the
fact them all covered.
Great. I like the fact that you want to be at the bottom of the organization chart for Toastmasters. I'm so thrilled that you want to get there. Thank you for introducing yourselves to me. So I have more information about you. And now, do you know who these leaders are? And do you think that they follow the 7 C's of golden leadership? I think they do. And we'll dig a little deeper into each one of these golden keys to leadership. Let's start with communication. Enter into the chat the most frequently used forms of communication for you. There are so many forms of communication in today's world. So which forms of communication do you most frequently use? Type it into the chat. Now, today we're using Zoom. Because of the pandemic, we have all become experts in Zoom, or certainly proficient in Zoom. And this is one of the golden linings of the pandemic for me. I have grandchildren who live 25, 30 minutes away from me in distance. And when we were not in the midst of a pandemic, I saw them 2 or 3 times a year. Isn't that absurd? But now, because of the pandemic, I communicate with them every single week. So after my presentation today, I am Zooming with my 2 older granddaughters. We are going to be playing Kahoot, Pictionary, all types of things via Zoom. I now truly know my granddaughters, and it has been an amazing journey for me to get to know them. And that is a golden lining for me in this pandemic. Carol, what forms of communication are they using most frequently?
Lots of texting. We've got email, video conference, social media, two-way communication, and phone.
When you think about your capability with each of these forms of communication, has Toastmasters helped you become more proficient in these forms of communication? When I think about the most frequently forms of communication that I use, certainly text, emails are included in that. For work, emails are king there. And I believe that I have become more effective and more proficient in my written email communication as a result of what Toastmasters has taught me. What about you? When you think about how you would have rated yourself in the forms of communication before you joined Toastmasters, and if you used our 5-point scale in Toastmasters, how would you have rated yourself before you joined Toastmasters? And how would you rate yourself today? I absolutely would have rated myself a 2 or a 3 in communication before I joined Toastmasters. Now I hope I'm at the 4 level, but I always have the opportunity to improve and grow in all of the skills that Toastmasters teaches me, communication and leadership skills. How did you rate yourself before Toastmasters, and how do you rate yourself now? Communication. Why do I spend so much time on communication, the first golden key to leadership? It's because I believe it is the foundation of all of the other golden keys of leadership. From the time we wake up in the morning until the time we fall asleep at night, we are communicating, and we are communicating in one of the forms of communication you have already mentioned. We are communicating and writing in all of those forms, or we're communicating verbally. But what about our nonverbal communications? We have learned how to gesture appropriately. And even on Zoom, we find that gestures are important. We also have learned the nonverbal communication skill of listening. That is one I still struggle with, but certainly that is an incredibly important communication skill we learn and hone in Toastmasters. What about our communication styles? Is your communication style the same as other members of your club? Is it the same as other members of the district executive committee? Is it the same as those with whom you work on a regular basis? Is it the same as family members and friends with whom you interact? I say probably not. You are unique, I'm unique, and there are some dominant communication styles and some secondary communication styles that we can test. There are so many different communication style assessments. I'll talk about one of them today, and it begins with the driver communication style. The driver, results driven, direct, minces no words, and has no need for long explanations. The driver focuses on the present. Are you a driver? Is that your dominant communication style? Or are you analytical? An analytical communicator must research the data, must research to find the facts. And an analytical communicator will not even state his or her opinion without researching the data, without researching the facts. And when an analytical communicator presents his or her position, that position will be presented and reinforced by an explanation of the data, the facts that that communicator used to decide on that position. A direct communicator states the position, no need for explanation, no needs for facts and research, long, detailed explanations. The analytical communicator would not even consider stating a position without knowing, understanding, and stating the facts in support of that position. Are you an analytical communicator? Or are you an amiable communicator? Are you focused on the team? Does it matter what your opinion is? Or are you all about supporting the team? Do you avoid conflict at all costs? An amiable communicator is there to support the team, often to the detriment of themselves. Or are you an expressive communicator? Are you focused on the future? Are you an intuitor? Are you the cheerleader? Do you speak before you think? And do facts have anything to do with your position? No. Why bother with facts? It's my intuition that matters. It's what I think the future should be. We'll get there. Are you an expressive communicator? These 4 different communication styles, the driver, direct, focused on the present. The analytical communicator, research, investigate the data, the facts, and uses those past facts and data to help the future performance. So they focus on the past to help the future. Are you amiable? It's all about the team. Whatever the team wants, I will support. Or are you expressive, focused on the future? What is your communication style? What's your dominant style? Do you have a secondary communication style? And then when you think about all those with whom you communicate, what is their style? In order to be an effective communicator, you need to know your style and you need to know the styles of those with whom you are communicating. And you need to match your style to their styles to be most successful in your communication. Communication, the foundation of leadership. Complex? Yes. Are we improving our communication through Toastmasters? Yes. Do we have more to learn? I believe yes. Communication, the number 1 golden key to leadership, the foundation of leadership. The second golden key to leadership is commitment. Now I want you to enter into the chat your definition of commitment. So enter into the chat your definition of commitment. And as you're doing that, think about this quote. Commitment is an act, not a word. Others judge you by your actions. Others will judge your level of commitment by your actions. Carol, what are they saying in the chat as far as the definition of commitment?
Do what you say you will do, loyalty, follow through on what you promise, be there when the going gets tough as well as when it's great, never give up, and satisfy the 4 agreements. Be true to your word.
Yes, absolutely. So your words must match your actions, right? All right, now let's look at some questions that you need to answer in the chat. And the first one is, how many months have passed in the Toastmasters year already? 7. Actually, we're into month 8 because we're in the month of February. And when you look back on those 7 months as a leader in this organization, Have you achieved what you committed to achieve in the first 7 months of the Toastmasters year? I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being stellar, excellent, outstanding. I have achieved everything over and above what I expected to achieve in the first 7 months of the year. Be honest with yourself. In the first 7 months of the Toastmasters year, how would you rate your commitment? Carol, what type of numbers are we seeing for commitment?
Seeing some 2s and 3s.
Ah.
I got a 3.5.
Oh, that's fine. We can definitely use decimals. So I'm hearing that we have an opportunity for improvement. Does it sound that way to you, Carol?
It does.
So let's take the answer to the next question. What actions will you take in the coming week to demonstrate your commitment to your Toastmasters role, to your career, to your personal life? When we think about commitment, we should have a level of commitment that is a 5, in my humble opinion, for our personal life. And if we are still in a career, to that, and to Toastmasters, certainly a level 4 to 5. Now I want you to write into the chat one thing that you will do in the coming week to demonstrate your commitment. And it can be in any of these areas. I am not going to ask you to just do it for Toastmasters. What actions will you take in the coming week to demonstrate your commitment, either to Toastmasters, to your career, or to your personal life? Be specific. What action will you take in the coming week? I am serving on the District Leadership Committee as well as the International Leadership Committee. The club contest is over. That commitment is finished as of this morning. But I have commitments both to the International Leadership Committee and the District Leadership Committee. Tomorrow night, we are having our 3rd District Leadership Committee meeting. I am hopeful that each committee member has done their job, their commitment, myself included, and that tomorrow night we will make good progress toward having at least one candidate for each of the district leader roles in District 55. Carol, what actions are they going to take?
We have create a plan that matches my goals, kick myself forward and not down. There is somebody else that wants them, since Jesse's doing some kicking, wants them to kick him also. Be consistent to the goals that I want to achieve. Use a timing device to prevent wasted time on unproductive activities. Work on the HPL and reach out to the areas for club contest information and have a successful contest.
Golden. To help you achieve your commitments, who will hold you accountable for your commitments by mentoring you? Sounds like Jesse is doing some kicking. I bet Kay would do that too. I bet George would too. But who are your mentors? Each one of us should have mentors. And it is golden to have a mentor in your personal life, in your professional life, and in your Toastmasters life. And you can absolutely have more than one mentor because each mentor will bring different skills to their mentoring. Who will mentor you? I am not going to ask you to enter that into the chat. And if you have a mentor already, then hopefully you are rating yourself a 4 or a 5 in your commitment. If you do not have a mentor, I want you to get one. I want you to ask, request one. And I want them to help hold you accountable for your commitments. When I was president, I had 3 mentors. It's an opportunity for you to help you, support you in fulfilling your commitments, in taking action. I love this Mario Andretti quote. Desire is the key to motivation, but it's determination and commitment to an unrelenting pursuit of your goal. a commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek. Gain a mentor, and you too can hold yourself accountable for your commitments. The third golden key to leadership is collaboration. I have seen collaboration today in your DEC meeting. You learned how to conduct effective area contests, and that is a collaborative effort if there ever was one. When you think about the different activities within a district, think about all the activities that require collaboration. Toastmasters Leadership Institutes, officers training, contests, conferences, all of those are collaborative efforts. A district executive committee is a collaboration, a collaborative group of people. Now, though, I want to know what you think the definition of collaboration is. So type into the chat your definition of collaboration. How would you define that word? Carol, please read them off as they enter their definitions for collaboration.
We, not me, working together. Working together towards a common goal, meeting of the minds, working together to achieve common goals.
Beautiful definitions, absolutely. Does that mean that we all have to agree? No. Do we need to listen to the different perspectives? Yes. Do we need to come to a collaborative decision? Absolutely. Collaboration is teamwork, leveraging the strengths of every member of the team, learning through the diverse perspectives, the diverse opinions of every member of that team, and then making a decision and moving forward to that common goal. District Executive Committee meeting. I had the privilege to be with you in July of 2019, and this is a picture of your District Executive Committee in July of 2019. Now, what about this? Well, this is my understanding is a photograph of a club, and it's a club promotion. I believe this is a Saturday morning club. Is that correct, Carol?
It is.
Yes, Saturday Morning Live.
Saturday Morning Live, yes. And if you would, tell me a little bit more about this photograph. So why are we holding up Toastmasters magazines?
Steve, do you want to take that on?
We read something that there was, wherever you travel, you always hold up your Toastmaster magazine and you take pictures. When Ivy and I got married, we held up a Toastmaster magazine 2.5 years ago, and we got everybody in the club to participate and hold one up for a club picture to put on our website.
Beautiful. So it was a collaborative effort for everyone to hold up a Toastmasters magazine and put that out on your club website. Golden. Thank you. Collaboration, teamwork, diverse perspectives, leveraging those toward a common goal. But in our organization, the foundation of collaboration is our core values, our 4 core values. And they begin with integrity in every interaction that we have. And then respecting each individual for their strengths and their opportunities for improvement. Being a servant leader at heart and striving for excellence in every endeavor. If we have the core values as our foundation for collaboration, that is a foundation that can move us forward. And that foundation is the first step in achieving the mission of our club, of our district, of our international organization. We have the foundation of our core values that support us in achieving our mission. And we have to do all of this without ego. When ego intervenes, it's destructive to collaboration. It's destructive to communication. When we think about our number 4 golden key to leadership, How does that involve conflict? Define conflict for me in the chat. What is your definition of conflict? Carol, read them out as they enter their definition.
Disagreement, difference of opinion, the meeting of opposing goals and objectives when you don't agree with me.
Absolutely. And my definition of conflict is ego. Conflict is ego driven. It is controversy. It is battle. It is not communicating. It is not listening to other perspectives. Ego, conflict, self. Conflict. It is destructive. We welcome healthy debate. We welcome healthy discourse. We welcome healthy discussion. We welcome diverse perspectives. We welcome diverse opinions. Our focus is on our core values and on the mission of each level of our organization. If we focus on the mission with our core values, then we will not have conflict. When you encounter conflict, you must address it immediately. And you address it through the first golden key in leadership, communication. If you find that you cannot resolve the conflict with direct communication yourself, then ask for mediation. We have to resolve conflict through communication. And if it is a more difficult conflict, then through mediation. Conflict is the absence of communication. It is ego driven, and there is no room for conflict in our organization. Change. Have we experienced change in the last year? We have been in uncertain times, in turbulent times. We have ridden the storms of change. But we have found a rainbow after the storms, the rainbow of hope, the rainbow of opportunity. Our organization has learned so much in the last year. We are an organization that continually learns, just as members and leaders of this organization. We are continually learning. We have to change as leaders. We have to adapt. We have to innovate. And when I think about our organization and what we have done in the last year, I truly believe that we have risen to the challenges of the pandemic by innovation and adaptation. When you react to change, is it a negative reaction? Many of us have negative reactions to change. And I was in denial in March of 2020 when the pandemic struck. I thought, we'll get through this in a month or two. I was in denial. Thankfully, I was not the president of this organization last year. The positive reaction to change is to acknowledge, to accept it, and at some point to realize that we have to adapt to this new reality, this new world. So our positive reaction to change is the number 5 golden key to leadership. I was a member of the executive committee until August of 2020. And in March of 2020, the executive committee all arrived in Englewood, Colorado for our executive committee meeting that was to be followed by our full meeting of the board. Within a couple of days of our executive committee meeting, we realized that our board meeting would be a hybrid meeting. There were individuals on our board of directors who would not be able to travel personally to Englewood to participate physically in person at our board meeting. We adapted immediately to the hybrid form of meetings. Some people there in person and others online. We used Zoom to project our March 2020 board meeting. And by the end of that board meeting, we realized as an organization, we needed to make the difficult decision. about moving our clubs to a completely online format. Before we left Inglewood, Colorado, before our board meeting ended, for those physically in Colorado and those at their home viewing online, we decided that the safe choice for our members was to make the decision that all club meetings from that day forward, until we made a decision about the future, had to be online. It was a bold decision, wasn't it? It was an innovative decision, and it was a crucial decision to our organization. We would not have survived COVID if we had not made that decision. And to me, it was a courageous decision. I called our president in 2020, 2021, President Courageous. And then an international director, Aletta Rocha, coined the phrase Captain Courageous. Deepak Menon will always be known as our Captain Courageous, who captained our ship through the stormy seas of the COVID pandemic and made those courageous decisions. And when I look at your faces here, you also had to have the courage to move with us, to move online with us. Leaders have to make the tough decisions. They have to make the courageous decisions. And I believe all of us have stepped up to do that. What would have happened if we had not had Pathways? We went through the tumultuous years of starting Pathways, and there was some turbulent times beginning Pathways, as there are with any new major change to an organization. Again, I thank you for staying with us through those tumultuous times with Pathways. And now we have 11 paths, over 300 competencies that each member within our organization can achieve through these 11 paths. A courageous decision by the leaders of our organization who made that decision 10 years ago? Absolutely. And it became a decision that has helped us push through the pandemic. Online club meetings. Are you having fun at your club meetings? I am. I look forward to the day that we can have hybrid meetings, and I hope that our world of Toastmasters will embrace hybrid meetings once we are truly able to be physically together, because I believe that we have opened our club meetings to a worldwide audience. Do you have members in your clubs outside of District 115? We do. We have members from outside of District 55, and online meetings has allowed us to do that. I'm a sergeant at arms at one of my clubs, and I love starting the club meetings early and getting to know the guests and talking with the members and asking them, how has Toastmasters supported you this last week in your job, in your personal life? How has Toastmasters supported you in moving yourself forward? Online club meetings, it's an opportunity for us. Yes, do I hope that I can physically be present with my club members in the future? Absolutely. But do I hope that we maintain that online presence? Also, absolutely. The seventh golden key to leadership is celebration. We go through all of the keys in leadership and we end here. Now, did you see that in this club, I believe this is Bon Appetit, and I believe this was on National Hat Day. So they were having lots of fun at their club meetings. They were recognizing National Hat Day and recognizing one another and having so much fun doing it. As Ralph Smedley said, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. We also learn best in moments of celebration. I've been told about this event that happened, I believe, at 12:01 a.m. on July the 1st, 2019. It's my understanding that you became a new district then, and you decided it would be fun to get together and to celebrate. I'm wondering about these barrels along the wall. I'm wondering if those are truly barrels or if that's just a painting. So Kay, I bet you can tell me, is that barrels or is it just a painting on the wall?
It was wallpaper on the wall, but it was a fun meeting.
And it was at the Tuscany Hotel, is that correct?
In a bar.
In a bar. What better place to celebrate? And then it's my understanding that this photograph came from that event as well. And these are bachelors and bachelorettes. Is that true?
Of course. And we had a Californian drive in for it.
Ah, that is golden. Celebration, celebrating the beginning of a new district. What better time to celebrate? And then I had the opportunity to be with you in July of 2019. After that first day of 2019, I brought some golden hats with me, and we again celebrated the beginning of District 115. Kay opened up her home, and Kay, I was so honored to be there, and thank you so much for coordinating that golden opportunity for me. You have been so innovative in your recognition. My understanding, and this is the drive-by a Hall of Fame, right, Carol?
I guess you can't see me. Yes, it is.
There were many, many pictures to select. I only grabbed a few of them, but what a creative way to manage a Hall of Fame, to celebrate, to give recognition to the members and leaders of District 115. Again, some pictures of your drive-by Hall of Fame. Those people who wanted to stay in their cars, they were allowed to do so. Those who were willing to get out were able to do that as well. I look at the golden leaders of District 115, and I believe they meet the 7 C's of golden leadership. And they also meet maybe the 8th key, which is to have fun. I'm so grateful that you shared these photographs with me and that I was able to incorporate them into the golden leadership principles. Do you remember what those 7 golden leadership principles are? Let's review. What is the first golden key to leadership? Type in the chat what the first golden key to leadership is. Carol, are they getting it correctly?
They are communication.
Absolutely. Communication is the foundation of leadership. What is the second golden key to leadership? Type it in the chat. Carol, what are they saying?
Crickets. Oh, there we go. Commitment.
Golden job by at least one of you. Commitment, and commitment is fulfilled through actions. We are judged by our actions. Our actions speak louder than our words. What actions are you going to take in the coming week to demonstrate your commitment to Toastmasters, to your career, to your personal life? Commitment is the second golden key to leadership. What is the third golden key to leadership? Type it in the chat. Do we have crickets or do we have some answers?
Collaboration.
Absolutely, collaboration. And collaboration thrives in the absence of ego. The foundation of collaboration is our core values. And we must use those core values to fulfill our mission statements. What is the fourth golden key to leadership?
Conflict.
Yes, and actually it is the absence of conflict. And conflict vanishes when there is no ego. Conflict vanishes when we are collaborating, when we have teamwork to meet a common goal. What is the fifth golden key to leadership? Type in the chat.
Change.
Absolutely, a positive reaction to change. Change spurs innovation if we will only adapt to change. Sixth golden key is what? Type it into the chat.
Courage.
Yes, courage. As leaders, we must be willing to make the tough decisions. And the final golden key to leadership is?
Look at that, all that celebration.
Absolutely. We celebrate and celebrate at every opportunity. Our organization, it begins with the member at the top of the organization chart, and that member belongs to a club. Clubs are grouped together in areas, areas are grouped together in divisions, and divisions are grouped together to form a district. We have 14 regions around the world. And when Kay and I served as region advisors, and Jesse too, there was only one region advisor per region, but now we determine how many districts are within each region and support those regions that have large numbers of districts. We currently, this year in 2020, 2021, have 22 region advisors for 123 districts worldwide. World Headquarters supports us, and then we have a board of directors. Richard E. Peck, our international president for 2020 to 2021, is following in the courageous footsteps of Deepak Menon. And I believe that the board is continuing to make the courageous decisions to see us through this pandemic. Your international director from Region 2 is Karen Lucas. My favorite leadership quote: if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader. District 115, what is your next golden step in Toastmasters? It has been a golden privilege to be back with you today. Thank you for inviting me to be with you. It has made my Saturday pure gold. Back to you, Madam Program Quality Director.
Woo, woo! Fantastic. That was great.